Welcome to the first lesson of Do-It-Yourself Credit Repair. I'm Aaron Adams. I'm in the Houston, Texas area, and my goal is to help you fix your credit. In today's lesson, what I want to talk about is resources to help you get started on your credit repair journey. Basically, a lot of times when people call me to basically help them with something and I ask them what their credit score is, they have no idea what their credit score. A lot of times they just say I have bad credit. And then when I look into it further, some of them actually don't have bad credit. What they have is actually no credit. And so there's a difference between no credit and bad credit. And then also some of them have better credit scores than what they actually think they have. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to find out what your credit score is and how to get your free report, and also how to sign up for credit monitoring. All of these things will be essential in actually starting your journey to fixing your own credit. So the first resource that I'm going to talk about is your credit score. The easiest way that I found to get your credit score is to go to discovercard.com. At discovercard.com, what they're going to give you is they're going to give you a free FICO score. The FICO score is a score that a lot of banks and mortgage companies use when they are deciding whether or not to give you a loan, and it's a good indicator of what your score is going to be when they pull it. A lot of entities have their own methods of calculating your score when they pull it, but the FICO is pretty close to what the banks for mortgages and car loans are going to pull is going to be your FICO score. I'm going to put some links in the description below for how to get your free credit report on discovercard.com. And all the links I'm going to put in the description box below. And I'm also going to put a link to the private Facebook group where you can ask me questions that I may not answer in the video, if any questions you have. But one of the places you can get your credit score for free is at discovercard.com. You can get your FICO score. Another place that you can get your credit score from is Credit Karma. The Credit Karma score is what is called a Vantage credit score. A Vantage, I believe 3.0 is what their version they are up to now. But Credit Karma is a Vantage 3.0 score, and it's a little bit different than FICO. A lot of times your Vantage score will be a little bit higher than your FICO score. But I recommend if you want to, I recommend actually just getting both of them to take a look at them. But the one that we're going to focus on when we're repairing your credit, the one that basically I shouldn't say the one we're going to focus on, but what I'm going to ask you to do is pick one of them to constantly follow when you're monitoring the progress of repairing your credit. And so most credit monitoring software packages use your Vantage score. So either one is fine, but I'm going to recommend that we use this one. The second thing that you need in beginning your credit repair journey is that you also need to pull your credit reports. A lot of people do not realize that there are 3 different credit reports. Certain companies and certain software may only pull one of the 3, but you actually need to see all 3 credit reports because all items are not on every single credit report. And for those of you who do not know, the 3 credit bureaus are Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Now, the easiest way to get these your report from all 3 bureaus is to go to annualcreditreport.com. At annualcreditreport.com, you can pull a copy once a year of all 3 of your credit reports. And the thing about it is, when we're starting to repair your credit, pulling your credit report from here is going to be sufficient, because basically there's going to be some steps that we have to take before we actually start repairing your credit, which is actually analyzing what's on each of your 3 reports. And so at the beginning, getting your free credit score from creditkarma.com, and then pulling your credit report from your credit report from 3 bureaus at annualcreditreport.com is going to be your best bet at getting started. Now, one thing that I'd like to note, that if you have any kind of strange locks, or if you've been a victim of identity theft or those kinds of things, you may not be able to get your credit report from all 3 bureaus from annualcreditreport.com. And then in those cases where there's identity theft or some kind of lock or something like that you have unknowingly on your credit report, you'll have to print out a form to actually send it in to the bureaus to actually get a copy of your credit report. If you have any trouble with that, you can join in the secret Facebook group in the description, and I can assist you in that matter of getting all 3 of your credit reports. So this is going to be the minimum that we need to get started. We're going to need your credit score, and so that we have a basis to where you're starting. And then what we're going to need all 3 bureau reports. Now, one thing to note is that when you pull this FICO score and this Credit Karma score, these are going to be combined scores. So what's going to happen is you're not going to have, at each bureau maintains a credit score for you. These 2 numbers are going to be a combined score. So it's not going to be 100% correct, and we're going to get around that a little bit later. But at least when you go here and you pull these scores, you kind of have an idea of where you are. Most people just assume what their credit score is, and these 2 will kind of give you a ballpark of what you're looking at and basically a basis to start. And we can do all of these things without actually spending a penny, which is what we're trying to accomplish, is to save as much money as possible. So now once you have these 2 things, what you're going to eventually need to do is you're going to eventually need to sign up for credit monitoring. Now, my favorite 2 credit monitoring software programs are, one is IdentityIQ, and Smart Credit. In the link below, I have links to where you can register for either one. This one is roughly about $25 a month, and this one can be as low as $12.95 a month. Either one to start is fine. You don't necessarily have to buy these right now, because basically what we're going to do in the next video is I'm going to pull a sample report, and I'm going to show you guys how to read that credit report, and we're going to try to figure out where you are and then what our game plan is going to be. So what I'm going to do right now is kind of just give you an overview of what we're going to do in the next couple of videos and through our journey of trying to basically improve your credit score. But one thing that I want to tell you is that you need to keep in mind that we have basically 3 goals. Number 1, our first goal is progress. So we're not looking for speed here. What we're looking for slow, steady, I shouldn't say slow, but we're looking for steady progress, basically moving up. Sometimes credit repair agencies say, okay, well, we can delete everything from your credit report. And what they're doing, 9 times out of 10, what they're doing is they're basically claiming fraud on anything that's bad on your credit report. And then what happens is all those things go off your credit report and then they come back on. And that's definitely not what we want. What we want is steady results that are lasting. We do not want to temporarily remove things from your credit report and have them fly back on. That's one of the biggest criticisms of credit repair agencies, that what they do is they get everything taken off your credit report, and then all of a sudden you've paid them, and then you come back and then all the stuff's back on your credit report. So one of our main goals, one of the first goals, is progress. And then number 2, our second goal is to basically help you qualify for whatever you want to do with having better credit, which means it could be buying a car, buying a house, obtain an American Express card, anything that you want to do that requires credit. Our second goal is to have you qualify, and then our third goal is to basically make you a happier, happier person through a better credit score. It's amazing what happens when you have a great credit score. You'll start receiving things in the mail. Credit card companies will start soliciting you. You'll start receiving these things in the mail. And we'll have videos on that as well, because the stuff that you receive in the mail, 9 times out of 10, basically all it takes for you to do is fill out that application, and more than likely you'll get it. So these are the 3 goals that we're going to focus on. Again, progress. We want it steady and lasting progress. We want to take things off your credit report. We want to make you qualify for whatever it is that you want to buy. So for instance, if you're trying to get an FHA loan, to buy a house, or you're trying to get down payment assistance, to get an FHA loan, typically your credit score just needs to be 580, but you want it to be 580 on all 3 bureaus. If you want to get a loan with 0 down, you're going to typically need to have a 620 or more credit score. And if you want to buy a car, we're gonna find out typically what kind of car you want to buy and those kinds of things, and we'll figure out what credit score is required. Now, ultimately, we would like to get you to be what I call a happier person, and we would like your credit score to be at 700 plus. Because at 700 plus, there's a lot of things that open up to you. So, I'm going to wrap this video up right now. I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction, and these are the things that we're going to need. These are the 3 things that we're going to need in order to get started on your credit repair journey. So to kind of go through them again, what I would like you to do in the first lesson is I would like you to basically go to either Discover Card, which there'll be a link in the description. And on this link, they're not actually asking you to apply for Discover Card. What they're doing is they're using this as a lead generation source. So you'll probably start getting emails from Discover, which is not bad, because eventually what's going to happen is, depending on what your credit score is, a Discover Card is actually a pretty good card to start off with. I've had one of these cards since I was 19 years old. It's a very good card to start off with, so I would encourage you to actually just go ahead and fill that out and get the constant emails from Discover Card. Don't apply yet. We'll talk about when is a good time to apply for credit cards in the future, and also basically create you an account at Credit Karma. One thing to remember about Credit Karma: do not dispute anything through Credit Karma at all. You are only going to use Credit Karma to have a look at your Vantage credit score, and that's it. Do not dispute anything through Credit Karma, and I'll explain that in other videos. Do not do that. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to get your Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax credit reports. You get those at annualcreditreport.com, and also a link is in the description box below. At annualcreditreport.com, like I stated before, some of you guys may not be able to get all of your reports. If you're not able to get all of your reports, they're going to give you a form to fill out. And like I said, if you have any difficulty with that, join the secret Facebook group. Comment, put a comment in the description box below, and basically what your Facebook username is. And then what will happen is I'll let you in the secret group, and I'll answer any questions about problems that you're having here. But we definitely need at least one, if not all of these, to actually get started on the process. And then 3, which the third step is optional at this stage, because a few things that we're going to fix at the beginning are going to be things that are going to not necessarily raise your score at the beginning, but will need to be fixed. And those things will be stuff like your address, employment, your telephone numbers, and things like that. So at the very beginning, signing up for a credit monitoring service is optional, but eventually, by the second or third video, you're going to want to either subscribe to IdentityIQ or Smart Credit. Those links are in the description box below. And then again, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on progress and help you qualify for things you want and ultimately make you a happy person. And that's the end of our video today. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video, as basically I'm going to be taking you on a journey to help you increase your credit score. Thank you very much.